Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen today, we are back talking about Prog stock once again. My videos the last couple of days did really well. It seems like there are a lot of people interested in this stock. It seems like it has a really, loyal and dedicated community, and it's very interesting to talk about because honestly, there is a lot going on with Prog right now. As you guys can see up on the screen today, was kind of a rough day for Prog. It started out really hot. I mean, this thing closed yesterday at 222. It opened up today at 242. This was a very nice start to the day. But as things went on, this thing just went down and down. And despite being up big at the beginning of the day, this thing closed down 8% by the time market closed. After hours, it was pretty flat, not really having any change at all. But man, what a very weird day for Prog on a day where they actually announced some really big and really exciting news that we're going to be talking about in this video. So definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. And consider checking out the first link in the description below if you want to get a free stock just for getting signed up with Robinhood. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, obviously, the last couple of days we've talked a lot about Prog. We've talked about how there are a lot of people in the Prog community that think the stock is being artificially held down because there's just arterial motives at play. There's people that think people are trying to keep the stock price down so they can buy up as many shares as possible. So when this thing pops, they're going to become super rich. Obviously, there's a lot of short selling going on. People who are incentivized to keep the stock price down so they can make money just by shorting it into the ground. And obviously, a lot of the Prog investors are very adamant about this stock being underpriced right now, and that this stock is a big potential short squeeze candidate. That this could be the next stock to pop huge. This could be the next GME. This could be the next AMC. This could maybe even be something bigger, something more, something like we have not seen before in the short squeeze space, in the meme stock space, in the social media darling stock space. But the news coming out today that, kind of got people excited at the beginning of the day was Progenity announcing several patents granted by the USPTO, the Patent and Trade Office, strengthening the company's intellectual property position in ingestible therapeutic technologies. This article comes from Yahoo Finance. Prog, an innovative biotech company, announced today that the USPTO has issued four patents related to its ingestible technologies for delivery of therapeutics via the GI tract. The USPTO has issued U.S. patent that number entitled Ingestible Device for Delivery of Therapeutic Agent to the GI tract. The patent is directed to methods and devices for delivery of a therapeutic agent into gastrointestinal tissue for systemic uptake. Progenity's oral biotherapeutic delivery system, the OBDS, currently under development, is designed for systemic needle-free delivery of biotherapeutics via an ingestible device. And we talked about this the other day, where there was the guy on Reddit who was saying, he is like a pharmacist or whatever, or claims to be a pharmacist, and he was saying that this technology is actually really great and could potentially be groundbreaking, having some of the most popular, some of the most, biggest market medications, treatments, drugs, whatever, having them be ingestible rather than, like through a injection or something, could be massive, could be very big. So that's why, even on the clinical side, there's a lot of people really excited about Prog. Not even, people who are looking for a short squeeze, or people who are looking for some crazy pop in the short term, or trying to beat the short sellers, or are, into the conspiracy theory of the whole stock. People are just like, yeah, this is a really cool business, this is a really cool idea, this could be really useful. And obviously, being useful in the medical world usually turns into dollars as well. But what they say, as they go on, preclinical work to date has demonstrated the ability of the OBDS to achieve bioavailability of up to 44% for proteins. The USPTO has also issued another patent for treatment of inflammatory conditions of the GI tract with Janus kinase inhibitor. The patent covers methods of treating ulcerative colitis using an ingestible device that delivers a JAK inhibitor directly to the proximal part of the large intestine as part of its GI targeted therapeutics program. Progenity is preparing to initiate early clinical studies of its PGN 600 program for targeted delivery of a proprietary formulation of, I don't know how to say that medication, but it is a JAK inhibitor to the site of the disease using the DDS, the drug delivery system of Progenity, also, which is under development at this time. Earlier this year, the company completed preclinical work demonstrating at least 25 times more of this medication in colon tissue and less drug in blood compared to an equivalent standard oral dose. So obviously, very, very interesting stuff going on. A lot of craziness. But yeah, the fact that they were able to get granted 4 patents, should have been a really big deal. That should be good news. That is a stock that people are already saying has a lot of good news and a lot of things to be excited about, and a lot of reasons why the stock price should be higher, why it should be going up, why it should maybe even be going massively up. Add to that, these 4 new patents, new big news. And this thing was up at the beginning of the day, but it was down 8% overall throughout the end of the day. So obviously that is going to add fuel to the fire for the people who are believing this thing is being artificially held down, believing that there is other forces at play, believing that, there is, maybe some BS going on behind the scenes. There is people who do not want the stock to up, that they do not want the stock to pop, that, people just need to keep buying more shares. People need to keep holding. People need to be patient because this thing, it's going to pop, it's going to go because there's too much good news. There's too many reasons for it to not shoot up. But again, despite even good news coming out, this thing continues to go down and down and down. So obviously, there will still be people saying that this is an awesome time to get in, that this is a time to buy the dip, that this thing is on sale for 8% cheaper today, and it's just going to help them add to their positions, and it's just going to be even more shares for when this thing does eventually take off. But obviously, every time it drops, it is going to scare some people. There are going to be some paper hands. There are going to be some people who get shaken out, and there are going to be some people who get worried because, this thing has had some pretty big losses. Over the last month, it's up 100% because, it had been up pretty big recently, but like when you look at the year to date, when you look at the 1 year, down 77%, down 60%. There's definitely been people who've gotten burned by this, but people who are DCAing down, people who are buying the dip, people who are loading up all the shares, people who are zooming out, looking at long term, they're still very, very excited about Prog. They're still excited about Progenity. They think this thing has a ton of awesome potential. And if you don't look at the stock price and you see that this thing had some great news today, there actually does seem to be a lot of reason to be excited, but we will have to see where this one goes. It still seems like this battle back and forth between short sellers, between the outside investors trying to hold this thing down, and the community, social media, Reddit, all these people rallying behind it, trying to get it to shoot up, and eventually we're going to see who wins out. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much.